Hi.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just vibing here to your song.
I heard.
Right. So, Viggy, right? Am I
Yeah,
saying it
that's it.
right?
That's it. Viggy. Viggy. There's no, there's no other way to pronounce that.
Okay. Making sure.
Yeah, man.
So, is that like a nickname?
It is. My real name is a lot more hard to pronounce. It's Big Left. A lot
Viglet.
of people make a lot of people try that one up, but Viggy is
Yeah.
my nickname. Got it. I got it when I was sorry. I got it when I was in primary school. There was something that all of us were doing. We were just trying to shorten each other's name. We were just coming up with little catchy nicknames. So that one just stick with me throughout my whole life, to be honest.
Okay. And you made it your
Yeah.
name. So, why do you call
Yeah.
yourself that artist? Like, why you have to, what's the last part for?
I just found it, to be honest, that's not my stage name. My stage name is Viggy.
Okay.
I just carried it from my social media. I just found it to be
Oh,
catchy. You know, that kind of way.
okay.
Just something to add to the end of Viggy, you know?
Hmm. You seem really well connected. I mean, do you know people in London and stuff like that? Have you been to London before?
Never been. The
Okay.
closest thing to London is my UK branch passport because I'm living in Angola and we are UK based territory, but other than that, no.
Okay, how come?
Yeah.
You got your territory to come
Um,
here.
to be to be honest, I forgot. Yeah, but to be honest, I never really had a reason not to. I have a lot of friends and stuff that migrated to the UK. Just never really got around to. I actually played cricket for a number of years too. When I was in my teenage years, and that was one of my goals to actually travel to the UK to play cricket, but it never really played out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So tell us about you're based in Anguilla,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what's it like right now, knowing that what's going on right now in St. Vincent? Like what's the whole situation right now in Anguilla regards to like
Yeah. Just want to say as well, prayers going up to St. Vincent and those
yeah,
guys suffering out there. I mean, I'm seeing videos every day, and that's a very traumatic situation to be in. I could only picture something like that happening to us here in Angola, and I believe the whole Caribbean. I love how the whole Caribbean is really and truly joining together to really get them out of the sticky situation that they're in. It's
yeah,
unfortunate, but to be honest. We are now starting to really see some of the effects from the initial effects from the volcano eruption. We are starting to see some ash thrown across this side of the region now,
mm,
and so it's starting to affect us. So now they're putting out medical warnings for anybody that suffers from sinus or asthma to really stay indoors and stuff like that. So it's now starting to affect us directly, but it's unfortunate to see that we are now, and I think there's a drive as well going on for for St. Vincent as well from and based in Angola to get necessary necessary stuff like toothbrushes,
yeah,
toothpaste, and those stuff that they would need in that time. But yeah,
yeah. Oh, but I've seen the post saying it's affecting Barbados now.
yeah,
Can only imagine.
exactly.
Mm.
Yep.
All right
And
then.
all of us are networked and linked within anything that will happen around the Caribbean, to be honest, because if a earthquake, I mean, if a volcano rings off now, prone to earthquake effects later down and them kind of stuff. So it's something that we all have to bear in mind and really come together and understand that it could be us anytime. So
Yeah. And I just
I
love how
believe the whole,
the whole of the Caribbean, even here in London, everyone just coming together and supporting
yep,
each other, and that's important. That's what we need to keep doing
yeah,
as a Caribbean.
exactly,
So yeah, okay.
exactly.
Talk to us about your musical journey. Like, how did you start doing music?
Music for me. started, it wasn't, I can't say that it was something that was destined. I didn't have anybody in my family that did music. I basically was a young man that was ambitious and loved stage presence. So I actually started off in pageantry. I started off doing Prince and Princess for my school, my primary school, and then they tell me, okay, you went in the show too much, we not long you're back in the show. I was like, okay, cool. I got into sing calypso. I know I could always sing a little bit in the bathroom, so I went to sing calypso, and that stuck with me. I been in junior calypso competitions for I think it was 5 years I went in. I and from since after that, I think the year that I went in was 2000 and can't remember the exact year. I remember the year that I stopped singing calypso. That was 2012, and from since then it's been soca music. Where in Angola, the culture of soca music is bands. So we don't have solo artists. So you see me here in front of you guys now. That's not really something that is prominent in Angola. You barely have soca artists. You have most of the bands. So I joined my first band when I was 12. So that's when I started really singing soca, and that's when I really started to say, okay, fall in love with the music that I'm singing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell us about your song "Endless."
Endless. To be honest, endless wasn't an idea. It was something that not came to me because I didn't originate the song. It was a night me, my friends was driving around. We were chilling, and I got a call. They were like, "Come to the studio, I got a song for you." I was like, "Come to the studio, okay, cool." So we drove in, and bear in mind, I had two friends with me that don't like soca music. Yes, that's weird, but they don't like soca music. And when I came into the studio, my uncle wrote the song, and he left it there with the producer of the beat, and the producer were playing the song with me. And as they heard the song, my friends they were like, "That sounds bad," and I
Yeah.
was done hooked already. And after that, it was just magic. It was an endless result. I just had to go ahead and really push to get a song out there. To be honest,
Okay. So, how long have you been doing like singing soca?
soca. I have been singing soca approximately, I would say, about 11 years.
Mm.
I started when I was in my first year of high school,
Mm.
and here now been in three soca bands, and I started my solo career in 2018. So I've been a solo artist for going 3 years now.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
what made you decided to like branch off into like being an artist? Because you said you started off, in band.
Yeah, that's to be honest, I believe that basically that was destined because
Mm.
it came to a point where I realized that it wasn't going anywhere for me in bands. As I said, was in and out of three bands,
Yeah.
and none of them lasted more than a year. So it came to a point where I said, okay, I love soca music. I'm not gonna stop doing soca, so I'm gonna do it by myself.
Mm.
And that way, Insane was bought. It was like, okay, I have this song that I originated that was supposed to be done with the band I was in prior, and I was like, okay, I can still do my song. So I called my producer from the band. I was like, yo, we doing this song. And when I called him, I got in contact with one of my other, with somebody I look up to right now in the music industry, like my big bro in music. And he was like, okay, we ain't recording this song in Angola. We got some artists to record this song. I was like, okay, cool. And after I recorded, and I mean, Insane, after I recorded Insane, like, after that, it was the love and the feedback that I got and the recognition that I got from that song alone, it was like, okay, yeah, this is where you need to be. This is where you're supposed to be. This was what was made for you, to be honest.
Okay. So, you're from an island. I mean, is soca really played a lot in that?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, that is our bread and butter. I mean, I don't think there's no. I may be wrong, but I don't think there's no Caribbean country that doesn't rely heavily on soca. Like you might have Caribbean countries where every Caribbean country, mix into genres because we have reggae that was there, we have dancehall and stuff like that. But Soca's our baby. Like every Caribbean island, we predominantly listen to soca. Um, can I say that we play soca as predominantly as countries as Trinidad, Barbados, and Antigua? Probably not.
Mhm.
But when it comes to our soca season, it's quite heavy.
That's
Yeah.
okay. So do you write your own music?
Yes.
Mm.
Insane was written, fully written by me. All the penmanship was done by me. Endless was written by my uncle Vale. But yes, I do write my own music.
Okay. So what's your, where does the inspiration?
Inspiration.
Mm.
To be honest, the inspiration behind the music, I can't even tell you. Like, to be honest, I just have this thing in me where it's like the songs come. Like
Mm.
I'll be just chilling, and it's like, okay, Vic left, this is a cool idea, let's write it down. And that's like, I just ride with the waves that I have. I don't try to force it. I don't say like when I go on a beach, like things come. It's just like soca is supposed to be a part of me, because if I'm driving down the road, listening to a song on the radio, I get an idea for a song that I can come up with. So I would basically say it's part of my everyday lifestyle, so the inspiration is always there.
Yeah. Okay. You kind of,
Yep.
your accent sounds a little bit like a Bayesian accent. Do you get that a lot?
Asian. No, I know I got when I went to Trinidad. I went to Trinidad for school to study, and
Yeah.
when I went to Trinidad, the first thing they were saying is that we talk too fast.
Like
That's
the
all.
Bayesians.
That's all I hear in Trinidad. You guys talk too fast. Slow down. And for me, it's like, okay, like this is
Yeah.
what I'm accustomed to.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
So which Caribbean islands, have you been to?
Most of my travels been based on business and cricket. And most of the Caribbean islands I've been through was touching base for cricket. So I've been through to St. Kitts,
Yeah.
Nevis,
Yeah.
Antigua, Trinidad.
Mm.
I think that's it. Samartan. We'll have to be the Samartan. Samartan is right next door. But yeah, I think that's it. Maybe mistaken, but that's it.
Okay. So if you was to describe your music in 3 words, how would you describe your music?
Hmm. 3 words.
Mm.
I'm gonna use over the word that you gave me to describe. Feel good music.
Mm.
When you put on a song from Viggy, my only desire as an artist is
Yeah.
to make the people that I'm connecting with on the other side
Mm.
feel good. To be honest, whatever feeling that maybe, I just want to drive you to that emotion. If I create a love song, I want to drive you into a higher passion of love. If I create an emancipative song, I want to drive you into a higher passion of faith and a higher passion, a higher drive to really go there and party. And to be honest, when you put on a Vegas song, I heard people tell me that my song in Endless sets the mood for their day, and that's a pleasure for me. That brings me ultimate joy to know that my voice can put you in a mood to really have one of the best days of your life. So I would just say feel good music.
Yeah. Okay. So what is it about soca that you love so much?
Um, do you listen? How often do you listen to soca?
I listen to soca all the time. Like
So
all
for me, it's like that's what me as an artist. That's what I get. This is what I decided to go into soca music, because
mm,
I know how it makes me feel on the receiving end.
yeah.
So for me to know how I may stand up in front of stage and listen to Kess and listen to Marsha, listen to Destra, and know how that feeling elates me when Destra say go left, I going left, and she say go right, I going right. To know how that drives me,
Mm,
that brings me passion, that brings me drive. So I don't think I could have ever step into any other genre of music to know that I am in a genre of music that has that kind of power.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the power to just command the audience to do what you want them to do.
Mm,
I don't think there's no other genre in the world besides rock music that you see people acting out
mm,
that way when it comes to an event or a fit, that kind of way. So yeah,
okay.
soca's life.
So how do you market yourself? Like you know, you make a song, you put it out there. Like if you're from Anguilla, I mean it's Caribbean island, but you know
Hmm.
the main hype is usually from Trinidad,
Yeah.
outside, and you know. So how do you? What's the process when it comes to marketing yourself?
As you said that perfect. The main hype is Trinidad, to be honest. So, you just have to the road has already been set. Like it has people that done it before.
Mm,
So for me, I just try to really and truly take a page out of somebody else's book. I mean, there's models out there that people that have already done it before. So why try to pave my own road? Yes, I'm gonna walk my own path,
yeah,
but if there's a road that was already paved with 10 lanes, why try to build a whole nother road when I could just pick a lane? So I look up to the people that already done it before, and I try to pattern or connect with those people.
yeah.
And that's one of my biggest goals right now, as you say, to the hype comes from Trinidad. So one of my biggest goals right now is to connect with people from that market.
Okay, okay, all right then. I hear you. I hear you. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
So, who are some of your musical inspirations?
Growing up, I always used to love to listen to Destro.
Mm,
Um, Kes is one of my biggest inspirations. Outside and inside the music industry, I just love to. I love the way, as we were talking about before, like the feel good music. Like Kes music doesn't feel like a song that he just sings. It feels like a song that he lives.
yeah,
When the way that he sings a song, it doesn't feel like, okay, I'm just singing a track. I'm actually involved in the process of me singing it. You know, that I'm putting my heart and soul into the music that I'm doing. So to be honest, if you would tell me my biggest two inspirations in music, it'll be Kes and Destro.
okay. Have you like done vocal training and stuff like that growing up? Because
Um,
you have a good voice. You can actually sing.
yeah, in the process of never did when I was younger.
Mm,
In the process of now, I recently started. I'm probably about 3 to 2.5 months in. Not really that deep, but I never really understood that there was a process behind a singing. I thought you was born with the ability to sing. I never knew that you could actually
yeah.
work on your voice. And that's something that was new to me when I actually started to delve deeper into my career. I understand that everything is a work in progress.
Mm,
Like you have to work for everything that you have. Like somebody that runs fast, they wasn't born to run fast. They were
yeah.
trained into to athletics. So it's like that's what I recently started learning. That's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So, what other genres of music do you listen to?
I listen to rap, R&B. I'm a very old soul, so it's like you wouldn't really find me listening to trap. I have nothing against the new artists that are coming out, but most of my artists that I look up to outside of soca music are older artists. Like I listen to a lot of Tupac. I listen to Kevin Gates heavily. I listen to a lot of. If I listen to new school artists, they have to be artists that are very talk about a lot of deeper topics. So I listen to J. Cole. I listen to Big Sean. If you see me listening to R&B, you see me listening to Boyz II Men and Ray J and those kind of artists who know uh who know captivate you in a different way. You know, that kind of way. So I basically would consider myself to be an old soul.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite Tupac song? Because I love Tupac.
My favorite Tupac song. I probably think about that. I'm probably the easiest thing for people to say would be
Yeah.
changes.
Mm.
But I believe one of my favorite Tupac songs. Let me think really, really deep for this. I love Brenda Got a Baby.
Mm.
Um, I love the story behind that song as well. The fact
Yeah.
that it wasn't a situation that he actually experienced. It was the fact that he took the story of a newspaper and everybody disregarded the whole article and he wrote a song about it. So he basically feel like he had to be the voice for the ghetto and he was doing just that. So I love that song. I love the story behind of it. And there's probably another song that probably always rings in my head, and if it goes off, I might, turn up the place, but I can't really recall it right now.
Mm. Okay.
But yeah, Brenda's Got a Baby is a good one.
Yeah, it is for real. For real. Okay. You got some good one. You got some. You really know your stuff. You know, like because I feel like when you know classic music and the old school
Uh-huh.
music, that's how you know music.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course, because if you really look into the market that it is now when it comes to music, it's like it's the things that are most catchiest that sells. But when you really look into the older songs, people had to really dive into how had to really dive in and dissect the songs to really get them out there. You had to really speak about a topic and really go into what you were speaking to in detail, tell a story, and that's the basis. That's why I love about songs. I love that a song, an artist is also an author. You know, an artist is just painting his own picture, writing his own book to a story that he sees.
Mm.
And I feel that's what music's supposed to be. Music is supposed to be an outlet, not just something that we just go in the studio and create. It's supposed to be an outlet that we know can connect with people and really tell people our side of a story that we want to tell.
Yeah. So, where do you feel like soca, the direction soca is heading? Where do you feel like we're making more relatable music when it comes to soca? Still have the idea of it being seasonal and only for whining and only for carnival. Like, the direction soca really is heading right now.
Yeah, to be honest, I believe some artists are waking up to it because I recently listened to an interview that Marshall had with Voice, and that's basically what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Some artists are waking up to it, and some artists are not because it's just the generic idea of where you actually are. It's all about perspective in every in every circumspect that you're at. Because even with me, I feel like I'm a pioneer on my island because the type of soca that I does is not really appreciated in my island as much. But I feel I'm a pioneer. So versus Marshall feel he's been a pioneer to change the soca culture. I feel I'm doing one heck of a job to change the soca culture in my island as well to make them appreciate groovy soca more. So I feel that at the end of the day, it takes one to start, but we all gotta understand where we're trying to get. And I love that everybody's now trying at least to hold ahead when it comes to our end goal for what we want the genre to do.
Yeah.
Because people see bigger things than just it being a genre that we can just have emancipation for. We can go on a party and have, dance and walk up and go on the road. People seeing it to be something that artists per se can be appreciated for the good music that they bring out.
Yeah. So, why do you feel like your music is not really, appreciated?
Because I predominantly sing groovy soca, in Anguilla.
Yeah.
That's not something that is very prevalent. You have groovy soca that's played,
Yeah.
but most of the Anguilla population they prefer the culture of a different tempo or a different style of music. If you ever listen, I don't know if you ever listened to any VI artists. You ever listen to any artists from the Virgin Islands?
Probably have. Probably have.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of our inspirations came from producers and artists from those islands. So a lot of our music basically have the same concept, the same vibe, the same resonance of those artists. And for me, for one, I love those artists, I love that kind of music, but for me, it doesn't speak to me the same. Like how I would do a song that might sound like a Kiss song, or might sound like a voice song. I love groovy soca.
Yeah.
So that's something that is not really appreciated and recognized in Angola as yet. But I feel I'm a pioneer, and at the end of the day, I'm reaching to a standard where they will appreciate, they would value artists that only does groovy soca. Because don't get me wrong, we love they love certain songs that can be that will be in my tempo bracket, but they wouldn't listen to it. They wouldn't jam out to it in a fit or listen to it all year long like how a Trinidadian would go all out to Savannah Grass.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no, they wouldn't raise up them hands and carry on the same way. They want to hear a song that a thump like they want to hear a song like that. So it's just different strokes for different folks.
So, how do you overcome that?
Um, Basically, just gotta be brave. You gotta understand that there's a bigger picture, as Marshall say. Like, um, the ceiling for somebody is the floor for another. So you gotta understand there's a bigger picture. I see beyond Angola, and I have a lot of artists. I have a lot of people in Angola that respect me and look forward to my music as well. But I see beyond the culture of Angola. I see beyond the culture of the basically what they say small island culture. I see beyond that. And at the end of the day,
Mm.
it's me. It's my job to hold up the baton for my country, and as so it is Marshall feeling that his job is the baton to hold up for soca music.
Right.
So
Agree.
it's just about seeing the bigger picture.
Mm. Okay. Would you ever enter any Soca Monarch?
I actually in 2018 when I released Insane,
Mm.
I went in Soca Monarch in Angola for that. I didn't unfortunately didn't place in the competition, but it was a heavily contended competition. But yeah, I plan to do so again if there's one this year for Carnival.
Okay. When is you guys' carnival?
Our carnival is hosted in the latter days of July. I can't really tell you the exact date. I don't have my head, but I know it's between like you can basically say between July the 28th, something like that, the 28th of July till about the 8th of August.
So you guys will definitely will have carnival this year then?
Yep, it's scheduled. It's already making plans. I mean, by God's grace, I know you have to say that.
Yeah. So what's it like? What's the carnival like? Because you know, like how Trinidad, you have the fest, and then
hmm
carnival will be Monday and Tuesday. What's it like in Anguilla?
In Angola, like Trinidad, I know for sure for Trinidad, there's two scheduled days of carnival, which
Mm.
is the Monday and Tuesday. All the rest of the fets on the outside are basically private owned fets. That's not nothing to do with the carnival committee. It may have intertwines, if don't get me wrong, it might have interjections with people with the carnival committee being a part of it.
Yeah.
But we have a broader spectrum where um about 10 days are labeled carnival events. So these 10 days, we have about three public holidays in these 10 days. But every event that happened within these 10 days are carnival events. So we have our pageantries, like early up in the schedule. Then we'll have Juveman, I think is the first Monday in August,
Mm.
and that is Juve morning. The Tuesday, I can't remember what Tuesday it normally be. The Wednesday that'll be our Queen show, which is our national pageantry. And the Thursday, I think that'll be that's a holiday. That's August Thursday. We have boat racing, and we have as well. We have a daybreak fit, a very iconic daybreak fit that is happening now, making its way to be a very talked about daybreak fit around the Caribbean, which is White Shot. The Friday is our Parade of Troops, which would be called in Trinidad Carnival Tuesday. That's our Parade of Troops. That's what we call it. And then Saturday, it's I think the Lee Willardon's Calypso show is on Saturday.
Okay.
And then Sunday is another boat race. 'Cause boat race is our national sport. So Sunday's another boat race, and then that's it. Carnival is finished.
Okay. What do
Yeah.
you love about it?
Say again.
What do you love about carnival?
Um, I would say it's good to see when everybody comes together for one that you can meet friends that you will see in 10 years because everybody comes down for someone. So it's like you might see somebody you will see in 10 years and they're
Mm.
back, oh you here, okay, cool, and you the camaraderie and getting to know new people and stuff like that, and just having a country, you feel that the country is glowing. You feel that you could feel it, the heaviness and the weight of the people that are in the country. Um, but my favorite event that I love for Carnival would be Ice White Shop. That is a big, great fit.
Yeah. But a fact, sorry.
It's a daybreak. It's the daybreak fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a fun fact about Anguilla.
A fun fact. White sand, lovely beaches.
Okay.
That's something that everybody, once you come down to Angola as a tourist, that's something that you always remember in the hospitality of the people that are here on the island.
Mm.
The fact that our beaches are lovely and that we have people that always greet you with a warm smile.
Mm. So tell us a cuss word then. What's your cuss word?
A cuss word.
Yes, a cuss word.
A cuss word in Angola, I think would be a cuss. We have generic cuss words, so our cuss words would be like fuck, damn, shit, like that's cuss word. Like we don't have. I know one cuss word that we had that I picked up on in Trinidad. Um, no, horsey in a cuss word. They had a cuss word I picked up on in Trinidad. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we don't have any slangs like any
Yeah.
slang cuss word.
Because
You know that
like
kind of way.
if you hear a Trinidadian say MC, which is mother cuts, you know that's
Mm-hmm.
me, So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
we all do have that
we don't say it in that accent. We say mother skunt,
mother
not mother cunt. Mother
okay.
skunt. Like we put a K in between of there, mother skunt. So
There's someone commented mother
yeah, yeah. That's my sister. Big up to my sister one time. My sister there.
Okay. Okay. All right. So tell us like some artists you'd love to like collab with.
If I have to say any, it would be Kes, to be honest. Kes, Destro, Voice,
Yeah.
um, who else? Who else, guy? Probably have some other artists that probably,
Yeah.
if I really
How about
just
African?
go. That's what I was about just thinking like if there are any up and coming artists that really I've been really and truly I don't know how fresh is he, but I've been really and truly listening heavily to A Chappie.
Yeah.
That's his name. I've been listening to him heavily recently. He has an amazing voice. Like
Yeah.
his music is really one of a kind. I like him. I like College by just as well. Like his
Yeah.
music, his music puts you in a real mood. Like
Hmm.
yeah, he's that happy song. That's a piece of a song. Like yeah,
Okay. Okay. And what about producers? Like
producers.
yeah, like is there any producers that you'd love to work with or love to be on their radar?
um, Advocate Productions. Who else? To be
LV,
honest, I don't
LV,
think that
what was that? LV production?
advocate.
Oh, Advocate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, Nikolai is nice as well.
Mm.
And then NNG, that's I think that's his tag.
Mm.
Who else that who else we have? Precision. Precision is the bomb. Like Precision, everybody that knows soca music knows about Precision. Um, who else we have? It probably has some beats that I never know the producer that I was tied to. So that's something for me to do my research on. Like,
Yeah.
who the producer was. You may hear a beat and be like, oh wow, that beat that. I know for sure Private Ryan made some that beat that Private Ryan did this year, the Calypso rhythm. I love that. I
Yeah.
love the song like Kes. I love the song like Kes did on that. That beat was amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like writing music, is it the rhythm that gets you going, or is it the
To be, you were saying something?
is it the rhythm that like gets you, motivates you to write a song? Is it the
Mm-hmm.
like do you start off with
Um, Not really. Most of my songs are tailored around. Most of my rhythms are tailored around my songs that I write. I find it very hard to
yeah.
write songs when a rhythm is already placed in front of me.
Okay.
Most of my songs are already tailored. Most of my rhythms are tailored around the songs that I write. So it's like I would create the brain of the song, which
Mm.
is the hook, and I would bring it to my producer and say, okay, this is what I want. You can play around with the voices how you want, but this is how I want the hook to be. Follow me, make the hook around that, and we work from there. So most of my songs are already tailored around my hooks. Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, tell
hmm
me one thing that this pandemic has taught you.
Appreciation.
Mm,
It had taught me to really and truly appreciate the minimalistic things, the things that we might overlook on an everyday basis. That when you blink, they can be gone. So you have to live every day in love, like live every day appreciating the small things,
mm,
and that's it. I feel that's the formula to life. When you live in appreciation, nothing goes over your head. You know, everything is value. Like the things I recently was watching someone on an interview a couple of days ago, and they were saying that they went to vacation in Fiji, and they were throwing away food, and the people were telling them like he looked at him and he was like, you guys don't even know. And he was like, what you mean? You know, he got offensive. He was like, no, it ain't no offense. It's just that things that you guys call garbage, I think that you guys, you know, don't value. We treasure here with our life because we don't see those things. So the pandemic basically had taught me that everything in life is a privilege. And once you live life in love and you live life in that abundance, you understand that you're blessed to be alive.
yeah. Right. Any words you'd like to say before we wrap this up? Like any motivational words or for the people who are experiencing people in St. Vincent, people on the whole, anything that you
Um,
say?
to be honest, I would basically say that once you have life, you
Mm-hmm.
have everything that you need to go again. Like I read a book about Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, and he was basically saying like he could go broke tomorrow, and he could guarantee he can be rich again because he has the willpower now in his life to know that nothing that is placed in front of him can ever conquer him.
Yeah.
So I would tell everybody in life that's going through any struggle, that's not your life. That's a part of your chapter. That's a part of your story. So don't allow that to conquer you. Just go ahead and push on.
Mm-hmm.
Your life, the only thing that can dictate your life or the path that you sail is you. So just keep sailing.
Yeah.
Life isn't over.
Mm. So what's next for you?
Um, to be honest, what's next for Viggy? All of my supporters, fans, everybody here in Angola, stay tuned to Viggy because we have some really big things coming up for the rest of the year. I have two songs I'm working on for the year already in progress, and yeah, those songs are gonna be some really big songs. Some surprising people is gonna be attached to those songs. Some really heavy names gonna be there. So to be honest, and outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
don't just expect the unexpected. Because once you have the ability to live, you have the ability to do anything. So that's my ticket on life right now, and I'm just living life in abundance.
Exactly.
So what's next for Viggy is a lot of blessings and a lot of assurances that will be conquered.
Okay. So tell us where we can find you.
You can follow me on all my social media platforms, which is Viggy the Artist. That's VIGGYDAARTIST on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, hit me up to ask me any questions you want to ask that wasn't clear about it on an interview. If you want to chat with me on any topics that we touch, stream my songs, Insane and Endless are out now on all digital streaming platforms. And be sure to keep it locked to everything Viggy the Artist for the rest of the year because you want to miss what's coming up.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Viggy, for joining
No
us.
problem.
Honestly, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. You're very positive and you have good energy, and just keep doing you, keep doing your thing.
Thank you very much. I can say the same. I can say the same, man. This was
We
a
can't
pleasure
wait.
talking to you as well. It was a pleasure talking to you as well, man. You're very positive, very bubbly as well. So
Thank
it was
you.
nice.
Yeah, we can't wait to see what's next for you, and we can't wait to see the music dropping, and we're here to support you, to repost and keep keep you going. So don't
Yeah,
be a stranger. DM us.
of course, of course, of course. Just stay tuned.
Yes, for real. All
All
right.
right. Thank you very much for the opportunity, man.
No problem at all.
All right.
All right. If you X or a friend, I'll close up.
All right.
Yes, everyone. That was Viggy. He was amazing. He's amazing. He's amazing. It was a good conversation with him. Okay, so coming up next is Taller Dan. All right, Taller Dan, man. Taller Dan. I already seen Ransom in the chat. Management in the chat. But yes, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna sign off, save Viggy's live, and I'll be back at 10 o'clock, okay, in 15 minutes, guys, okay? So join us back in 15 minutes, all right? All right, bye.